Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, I'm making Southern Pecan Pie. It's so delicious and I think you'll like it. Let me show you how to do it. I actually have a pie plate that has the recipe in the pie plate. That's kind of neat. That's what I'm going to make. Well, I'm going to start by making the pie shell, but if you already know how to do that, you can go to 447 and skip this part. Anyway, 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. Get that measured out, that last third. Okay. And then 1/3 cup vegetable shortening. I'm using Crisco. And just rake that in with my finger. You're going to be using your hands to make this pie crust. And then 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. You can use regular salt, but I'm using kosher salt. And then you want to work it with your hands. Just gently begin to break the shortening apart and combine it with the flour. And it's very easy. It's not hard at all. I hope things are going well for you, and I hope you're ready for a nice Thanksgiving holiday. And this is a great pie to make for Thanksgiving. All right, once you get to this stage, it's time to add the water. I have ice water in this cup, and I'm going to add 5 tablespoons. 5 tablespoons of ice cold water, just like that. And then begin to work that in. It's very easy. Pie crust is very easy. If you've never made your own, I want to encourage you to give it a try. You can do it. And it's kind of like Play-Doh. You work it until it starts to stick together, and then we'll dump it out on the work surface. And I have this silicone mat that makes it much easier to work this pie crust, this pie dough with. And you can see I'm just using it to pick up the pieces, bringing it all together, just like that. And it all comes together. And now we want to begin to press it out and then roll it out. Now for my pie pan, I'm going to need to roll this out to the outer circle. And this little mat really makes it a lot easier to know exactly how far to roll out your dough and where you are in the process. And you can see if you're keeping it fairly round. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, but you know which side needs a little extra work. And so I just roll this until it covers that last line, and I know it's big enough. And then I use the mat to help get it started rolling over the rolling pin. And this is how we're going to transfer the pie crust or pie dough onto the pie pan. So I'll bring that pie pan over, and then we just unroll it on top of the pie pan. I should have been a little more careful and not started it right there, because now it's hanging too far over on the side that's closest to me. No problem. We'll just have to move it a little bit, and you want to be careful. This is a nice thin pie crust, and you don't want to tear it. You've worked on it and gotten it like this, and so just kind of move it around and then let it drape down into the pie pan. And then I'm going to use the rolling pin to help cut the excess dough off of this pie pan. You're not always able to do that depending upon what the pie pan is like, but this one makes it easy. And then I can just peel off the excess dough, and there's not very much. Okay. And then once I get all of that done, I begin to pinch the sides in, kind of make a decorative edge like this. Very easy. And there we have it. Now it's time for the filling. 3/4 cup of sugar, and to that 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and then 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And we want to give that a good stir, mix that up very well. And then we're going to beat in 2 eggs, one at a time. And so this is the first one. You're going to really like this pecan pie. And then the second egg. I appreciate you watching my channel, and I encourage you to like my channel and share my videos. And then 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then 1 cup of dark corn syrup. This is Karo syrup. And I'll just mix it in as I pour it in from the bottle. And I had 1 cup left in the bottle, so that's exactly the right amount. And then finally, 1 cup of pecan halves. You can use pieces, but I think it looks better if you use the pecan halves. Make sure all of them are completely coated, and preheat your oven to 375 degrees. And now all you need to do is pour it into that pie shell, just like that. And once you get that in, you want to just gently make sure all the pecans are evenly distributed in the pie. So you just push them around just a little bit, you can see them. And it's really just that simple. And now we put it in that oven for 50 minutes. You bake it for 50 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And after 50 minutes, it's like this. Now you've got to let it cool completely. It's really puffy, but once it cools, it'll settle. And here's what it looks like after it cools. And I've let this cool for 2 hours. And now let's cut into this pie. Now the real pie makers, they chill it and they turn it upside down and cut it upside down. And that's the best way to do it. But I'm too anxious. So we'll just work our way around some of those pecans and get us a slice out of there. Just like that. Come on. There we go. Beautiful Southern pecan pie. Now that's something to be thankful for among all the other things that we have to give thanks for. Take a look at that. Doesn't that look good? Nice and creamy and thick. Absolutely delicious. How about that crust? I never blind bake the crust for this. It seems to come out just fine like this, and it's so delicious. Let's take a look at the crust. I don't know if you can tell, but it's flaky. It's not soggy at all. We can get this to flake off. And it tastes great. Just like that. Well, there you have it. Southern pecan pie. Absolutely delicious. Just right for Thanksgiving. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.